y'all already know how we do it on Getting Your Bag. We first leave with prayer because God is the beginning, the middle, and the end of everything that we do. Okay? So, dear Lord, we are coming to you humbly today, Lord. We are asking that you guide the words that come out of all of our mouths, Lord, and that you use those words to help someone out there, help someone who is struggling, help someone who needs that guidance, someone that needs that advice, someone that needs that leadership to help them get in their bag. Please, God, let them know that whatever they're going through, good, bad, or indifferent, that you are at the forefront and it is for a purpose, and you will lead them to something great. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
Brandy, why you play me like that?
What I do?
Why you ain't tell me I had these sunglasses?
I did not know you had those sunglasses. I promise I didn't.
I'm cool, but not
I did. You just cool, and that's all right.
Okay.
She had on her glasses, y'all. So you guys, welcome to Get in Your Bag. Getting Your Bag podcast. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, do whatever you need to do on all streaming channels, okay? Because we are on all streaming, right?
We're on all streaming platforms. We are on Instagram with Getting Your Bag podcast. We're gonna do lives. We're gonna do them next season.
Okay.
But yeah, send us a message. All of our personal Instagrams are there, as well as our business Instagram. So yeah,
that's right. So here on Getting Your Bag, we hope to give you some type of nuggets you can walk away with. Write down. If you guys have any questions or want us to elaborate on anything, just send us a message and we'll take care of you.
Yep.
And make sure you subscribe. So, our question of the week. So, we're going to start off with our question of the week.
Yes.
Did you look at our Instagram and see, do we have some questions?
Day.
Okay, what was the question of the week
this week I didn't have any questions.
Okay.
I guess we answering all the questions, we giving them all the answers they want from the podcast, so they didn't have any. But my mom, she did want me to tell you that she said, tell Brandy she is so beautiful. Every time I look at the podcast, I talked to her last night. She told me, tell Brandy she just be shining and glowing.
Mama, that'd be a whole bunch of highlights, okay? That'd be a whole bunch of highlights.
I love her. You know.
Thank you. Tell Mama, hook me up with some of your co-workers. Like, hey, I'm single.
Not her co-workers. Oh, you know the men at the post office got some money. Okay, they got some money.
That's funny. So we don't got no questions of the week. Maybe Mama question was, am I single? No. Okay.
Period, okay? Because the Lord gonna send them some way, somehow.
Right. All right. Well, you guys, since we don't got no questions, we're gonna move right on. Our topic of today is let me hold something. How to use other people's money for leverage, for credit, in any way you can, how to use other people's money. And y'all may think that they ain't using other people's money on a daily basis, but we are using other people's money on a daily basis. If you go and you financing a car, that was other people's money. If you are, if you went to school and you graduated and you got student loan debt, that's other people's money because you did not pay for that. If you bought a house, any real estate property, and you did not pay cash, that is other people's money. So today we're going to tell you kind of how to start with that and how to start leveraging other people's money. And that is what LaFrenzo is here because he is the expert at that.
Yep.
He going to teach y'all and drop y'all some nuggets on how to get your credit right so that you can use other people's money in a positive way so they won't come chasing you down for a back plus interest.
Right.
Okay? So, LaFrenzo, tell us about you. Welcome. Thank you so much for being on our show. We are so excited. I plugged your business a few weeks ago.
Yep.
And so at that time, I think we were so excited. I couldn't even tell him how awesome you were. I'm like, I just got to get him on the show so he can just tell y'all because you got some game. Because in our meeting, I was taking notes, okay? And I called you back like, wait, what did you say this was? So you got some nuggets to drop. So let them know how to get in their bag.
Yes, let's get in our bag. Hello, everyone. My name is LaFrenzo Wilkins. I'm the owner of E3 Financial Solutions. We are a veteran-owned credit repair company. I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself before I started the credit repair company. I served 6 years in the United States Army, and then once I got out the Army, I moved to Texas. And once I moved to Texas, I just kind of moved back and forth trying to figure out what I want to do in life. And when the pandemic hit, that's when I kind of found myself doing credit repair. And because I always knew in life that I want to help other people out, and life would help them fix their credit. Because coming from Mississippi, coming from poverty in a single family household, no one taught me about credit or financial literacy, so I didn't know. I got my first credit card when I was 18. I maxed it out, and then I went and got another one, maxed it out, said, okay, I'll pay this when I get 30.
Yep, sound about right.
This is not going to affect my credit, so I'll pay this when I get 30. So I end up taking a course, and then I started doing it at part-time, and I was working at Amazon full-time, and then I just remember just trying to figure out how to do it, and how was I going to use my passion and use my purpose to help other people in life. Because when I got out the military, I would always pray, like, God, what do you want me to do in life? I know I'm supposed to help people, so what do you want me to do in life to help people? So I was selling cars, and then when people come in to buy their car, I can always see myself on the other side of the table, because I used to have bad credit. I used to get denied. When they got ready to run my credit, I would sit on the edge of the seat. I knew I didn't have nobody in my phone contact I can call to be no cosigner. So I didn't like the way people got treated, or people when they bought a vehicle, they didn't feel like they got like the red carpet experience when they bought a vehicle. So
or even the best deal or best interest rate, nothing.
So true. So what I did is I learned the process, and then I used that in my credit repair company. So I actually help my clients, if they come to the program, they want to buy a vehicle, I will walk them through the process of purchasing the vehicle to try to help them get a pre-approved before they go to the bank, so they don't get those 15 to 20 credit inquiries on their credit report. So I started working at Amazon. I was doing that full time and doing credit repair full time. So I just started helping people, and I continued to grow. Then my goal was like, I said, okay, I'm July the 4th. It's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna resign from my job. I'm leaving. I was able to leave my job March the 20th.
Early. Look at that.
I left early, so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So next, what I probably do. So next, my goal is I want to have a 5-figure month. So I continue to work on, and then I recently had a 5-figure month, and I've been able to help so many families just with their credit. Not only their credit, just giving them a different mindset, because coming up in Mississippi, like, we didn't have anyone to teach us about financial literacy. So sometimes struggling and stuff, you would make partial payments, not knowing that those partial payments would actually be late payments on your credit report. So I just want to teach people about the financial literacy. I call it helping our clients take back their financial buying power.
That's right.
And we just want to empower, educate, and elevate them to live the life that they always desire to live, because we all deserve to have lower interest rate, have those cheap interest rate, those cheap payments on our bills and everything. Because when you buy a vehicle, some people buy a vehicle, some people get 2% interest rate, some people buy a vehicle, they get 18% interest rate. And that's a big difference between you paying for that vehicle once and you paying for that vehicle twice, because the person that get that 2% interest rate, they probably only going to pay on a $20,000 car, they probably only going to pay $1,400 on an interest rate, compared to someone that have a 20% interest rate, they're going to pay $14,000, $15,000, where you almost paying for that vehicle twice. And then in the last 3 months, I've been able to help so many families, and I get so excited. They had to tell me to calm down on the phone. I called and give them their results, because I've been able to help 12 families, just change 12 family lives. I help them get vehicles. They able to get back and forth.
Not only that, don't sell yourself, because you be getting people. Tell them about you got somebody $1 million loan pre-approved for their home. Like, don't just sell it at just cars and vehicles. Like, you help people get homes. Like, for real life changing. You know, when you walking in, one of your clients got a $675,000 pre-approval. One of your clients got $1 million approval. Like, that's a big deal, you know?
Well, like, for example, do they have realtors?
Some of our clients come into the program, majority of them do have realtors when they do come to the program, but some do come into the program, might not have a realtor.
Well, you make sure you slide them out.
I'm going to send them over to Brandon, slide them on over.
Not just Brandon, me too.
Shades of realtors.
Slide them
over your way. I'm going to start sending them to you guys' way.
Please.
Okay.
But I've been able to help some, like I'm saying, 12 people got vehicles. 17 different families, 17 people was able to, they reached past the 700 credit score range.
Ooh,
some of them started in 300, 400, 500, and 600, and they was able to reach the 700. 2 people have purchased homes. 3 people offer was just accepted on their home, and I think I have 3 more people that's what's the name, and about to put an offer in on homes.
Okay.
But it just coming from a background with no financial literacy, it just mean the world for me to be able to help people out, to use my voice, to use my platform, because so many people in the last year inbox me all the time saying, man, your story inspires me. You inspires me. Like you helping give me motivation. Even last night I was out and people said, man, I just been following your progress on social media, man, you doing an amazing thing. And I was telling someone how much I make a month. They were so shocked because I've been doing it in a short period of time.
Yeah.
But
6 months is huge.
It
and
is.
Not only that, but you've been in a small business magazine, correct? You've gotten, like, come on, you better start listening.
Brag on yourself on
Like
this
I
show.
tell Dre, hi Dre, Dre's not here with us, but I always say, Dre, don't downplay your dopeness.
Okay.
You better let people know.
Okay. So yes, I was last year I actually did my first ever TV interview with a company in Arlington, Texas, and then this past June, my sister followed on social media. She actually reached out to my sister. Some kind of way they got connected, and my sister was telling about her story. Then she found out about our story, our upbringing, and she was like, "That's the story I want. I want to do you guys' story."
Oh, wow.
So we was featured in a magazine, Australian magazine that was seen in 6 different countries back in June.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
That was really
That is
huge.
good.
That is
I think that this was one of the episodes that I couldn't wait to get to, because you said something that is so powerful that people are going to connect with. In our community where we come from, being black people, we come from towns. Me and Brandy from Chicago, you from Mississippi, but we all know that for us to be black, we all live pretty similar lives.
Yes.
Nobody ever teaches us financial literacy. Our parents didn't teach it to them. They didn't teach it to us. So we have to go and figure it out. And with our generation, it kind of changes because now we're able to, change the things with our kids. But I'm in my 30s. I didn't know how to build good credit until like 5 years ago when I got with my guy. And he asked me as we were getting ready in the process of having our daughter, and he was like, what's your credit score? I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, well, let's get on Credit Karma and find out. My credit score was like a 5 something. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know nothing about if you don't pay your bills on time, that hurts you. These are things that nobody teaches us about financial literacy. And I asked him, I said, what made you want to have good credit? And he said, to be honest with you, when I turned 18 and I went to college and I needed to do student loans.
Yes.
My mama had bad credit. Everybody had bad credit, so nobody could help me.
Yes.
And he's like, I told myself then I would never put myself in a bad situation. So David doesn't know what it looks like to have bad credit because he accepted at 18 like that's not gonna be me.
That's
but
awesome.
it's so many of us that think like what you said, like at 18, like, oh, I'll pay that off when I'm 30, or it's only important to have good credit when it's time to buy a car or you want to finally get a house. And it's like, no, because you don't understand credit. You need to have aged accounts. You need to show creditors, hey, I have good credit and I've had good credit for a long time. And people don't find credit important until they need it for something.
Yes.
And it's the type of credit. The type of credit you counts.
Yes.
And that's something that La Forenza will talk to them about.
Yes.
Installment credit,
Yes.
which
Revolving
is
credit.
revolving credit. Like those are the things that you want to have that people don't know. Those are the things that you want to have because it gives you a longer history of on-time payments. It's showing that you have financial literacy.
Yes.
That if we give you our money, using other people's money, that you won't
You'll be
misuse it.
responsible
You won't
with it.
mishandle it. And you'll know how to use it. And
Yes.
that's key, And then, like you're saying, financial literacy, changing our relationship with money. That is huge. Changing the relationship on how we deal with money. Most people see a bill, they run from the bill. Well, hiding it or not opening that bill does not change the fact that it's going to be due on this time, at this time,
So
know?
true.
And that was one of the things we talked about also. Due date versus cycled and statement date.
closing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are things that we need to talk about. So
Yes.
what do you suggest if you're talking to us and you're saying someone is just getting started, they don't have any idea. No one has spoke to them about credit. They don't know where to start. where would you suggest to start to get your credit? What's the step one?
Yep.
So step one would be actually getting your credit report. So there's plenty of ways to get your credit report. You can get we all get one free annual credit report a year. Yes, freeannualcreditreport.com. You also can get one from your bank. You also can, they have credit monitoring apps, Identity IQ, you have My FICO scores and stuff like that. But you want to start with your credit report because I've talked to so many people that's never looked at their credit report. So they be like, or they'll look at the app and they be like, I have 3 negative items on my credit report. But when we go over their credit report, they have repossession and eviction on their credit report. But they haven't really they haven't really paid attention to their credit report, or they have somebody else's information on their credit report if they experience like identity theft. So I tell people it's very important. Number one, you want to always have a credit monitoring service, because a credit monitoring service, one, they have insurance on them, and two, the credit monitoring service, if someone uses your credit or anything suspicious happen with your credit report, it's going to alert you.
Yep.
And I tell my clients, like, you do not want to go backwards. You do not want to start this program and get your credit score up, and then you cancel your credit monitoring service, and 6 months down the road somebody have stolen your identity. Now you back to this 400, or you back. So I tell them I always keep that. Number two, we go over their credit report, we go over their personal information, and we want to make sure all the personal information is actually their information and make sure it's correct, because you can have sibling information on your credit report, co-workers, friends, parents, spouse information can be on your credit report. So I want to make sure that's actually only your information on your credit report. Then we go over the negative items. And I like to break it down to them, because on a credit report, even positive accounts have errors in them. And I want to so I show them a positive account and I point out the errors to them. Also, I explain to them that we're not going to mess with those accounts because they're reporting positive. But I want to show you that positive accounts have errors. Then I show them the negative accounts, and then I show them the errors in the negative accounts. And a lot of people, anybody can fix credit, but it just comes down to time and knowledge. You have to have the time and knowledge. Like for anything. You go to the doctor, you're not going to try to fix yourself. You're going to let the doctor fix you.
Absolutely.
And so it's just kind of like that. You just want to educate yourself, and then you want to put in the time and patience, because a lot of people get impatient and stuff like that. And another thing, like a lot of people like to do online disputing.
I heard that they really don't work.
But it's not always good to do that, though.
It can work, but it's not always good, because one thing about if you do online disputing, you're not going to have a track record. You do not have that paper trail where someone is sending faxing letters to the credit bureau, mailing letters to the credit bureau. They have that track record to verify information. That paper trail. For if you do online disputing, yes, sometimes they get disputed and they get removed from your credit report. But what if it come back verified? Now you do not have any paper trail, anything to prove any information that you sent. Yes.
And if they come back and say that is your debt, so now it hits your credit report again and impacts your credit again. They'll take it off during dispute time, but then if they come back and it's a confirmed debt, it hit it again in a negative way. So people don't know. So it's best to deal with the professional so that they can do it the right way, versus going on a Credit Karma, hitting dispute, and then you get a false positive. I always call it a false positive, because all that stuff come off, it jumps up your score. And then you get that pre-approval, and then you come back and look 20 days later, and it went way down to even worse than what it was before, because all those were confirmed your debt. So get a professional, right? Like it's best. You saying don't try to fix yourself. Get a professional.
And I always tell people, when you go to get credit repair, have an open mindset, and also just have patience, because most people, it take them 5 to 10 years to mess their credit up, and you cannot expect someone to fix your credit in 30 days.
You better say it again.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me tell y'all what's so funny. Hold on, because y'all don't have to jump in there. Because I have you as a referral now, but I have another guy that I work with at Phoenix Group named Joe Camacho. Joe has put me on to really what it's like to fix credit. And I did put this post on Facebook so many times. I'm like, y'all better stop letting people paying $100 for credit sweeps. Because can't nobody sweep your credit in 30 days. Not legitly. And I think that's what there's so many people that want to be credit repaired. Oh, I got a $99 special. And then they show all of these things deleted. But I'm like, well, show us in 3 months if it's still gone.
And I want people to know, and I'm going to speak for La Friends on this, For one, you pay for what you get.
You do.
Right?
You do.
You have to invest in yourself.
You
we're,
do.
we're always saying on getting your bag, invest in yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You have to invest in yourself.
Yes.
Whatever you do, pay for extra skill, extra education, extra knowledge. You invest in yourself. If you want great credit, invest in yourself. And you have to always look at the big picture, right? People don't want to pay the money to you to fix your credit. But guess what? If you don't give it to you to fix my credit, I'm going to pay it out in high interest rate. I'm going to pay it out in one way or another, and normally that's gonna be the worst way.
And I tell people that all the time when it comes to credit. Yeah. I'm speaking hypothetical. If you say, look, I can help you with this credit for the next 6 months, it's gonna be $1,000, and they're like, that's too much. But you've had bad credit for 5 years, sister.
What's 6 months of $200 for 6 months?
$200 for 6 months. But then you'll go pay $1,000 on a trip to Cancun for 4 days with your friends, and me personally, I'm putting that on my Chase Sapphire card because I'm getting.
That's what we talk about.
I'm getting
points. You're getting your cash back rewards. You're getting your travel rewards.
I'm getting my points. I'm building up my points.
Yes.
Number one. And number two, I need that. I got that relationship with Chase where it's like, look, sister girl, you get free access to this. Yes. People do not understand. It's not just about
room discounts, flight
everything,
discounts, car rental discounts, gas
discounts. You don't understand that all of these money people have connections to other money people. And when I say that, it's like with Chase. Chase has a built-in partnership with Southwest. So you use Chase, you getting your benefits over here. People don't understand the benefits of having good credit. Good credit will change your life because it opens up so many other doors.
What doors it open? It opens up, let me hold something. It opens up using other people's money. That's the whole point and topic of today's show. How to use and leverage other people's money.
Absolutely.
And that's through great credit.
Yes.
Because with great credit, you get great credit cards. Credit cards and credit, if you use it right, you're using someone else's money versus debit. You're using your own money. Now, when we had our conversation, what did you say? You rarely use your debit. You use your credit card, right? And wealthy people tell you that. They do not use debit because guess what? When they use credit, they get points, they get miles, they get higher limits on their credit, which grows your credit score because now you have higher limits that you're not using more money and people don't realize it.
Yep. And that's one of the things, like, once they doing the consultation, and what we do is I do go over their personal information, the negative accounts. Then I get to the part where I tell them about we're going to restore, rebuild, and help them increase their credit score for us adding credit builders. So for us adding the credit builders, then I like to break down to them that credit report have two parts. You have revolving credit and you have installment credit. So revolving credit has been your credit cards, and installment been your student loans, your auto loans, your home mortgage loan, CDs, some CDs, and secure, unsecured loans.
Okay.
So I like to see how many accounts they have open on their credit report. Then if they have a secure credit card, say for instance they have a secure credit card, unsecured credit card, yes, that's going to help them build a credit score. But if they have multiple late payments on their card, it's not benefiting them in a positive way because yes, you still making your payments, but it's not helping impact your score in a positive way because they have all those late payments. Now, once we get this card updated and the late payments removed, then they'll start back helping you again. So what I would do is I have them get an unsecured credit card with a company that I use that do not run their credit. And then if they do not have a lot of installment accounts, I have them get a company, self-lender or Credit Strong. And one good thing about those companies, when you sign up for them, when you set your account up, they'll put a $sign amount on the screen. That's the money you get back once you finish paying your contract, your term out. Yes.
Okay.
So you got the plug.
Yes.
So if they come to your service, you got the plug.
I will talk to him.
And they actually, so what they're doing is, so what their company doing is they actually helping you save money, increase your credit score, add credit history to your credit report, and positive lines of credit to your credit report because so many people get caught up in their credit score. I've had a few clients come to me over the 700 and they was getting denied for the small things. So I tell people, you want to take in consideration your credit score, you want to look the accounts on your credit file, and you want the credit age on your credit report. Because all of this is important for you to get approved. When you get in the credit repair program, yes, when we remove items, your score is going to go down. But your score is going to go back up once these items are removed and you start building this credit. So you can't just really focus on your score decreasing because it's going to increase once you start adding these positive credit builders. So I like to explain that to them, let them know that every account on your credit report, it holds credit history. And so many people always say, can you delete these student loans? You cannot delete a student loan from a credit report. It's federal. You cannot delete it. Yes, if they delete off your credit report, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
It's federal.
Yeah.
It's going to follow you everywhere. So,
So I got a random question because I know some people probably wonder this. So you know how some debts get on your credit report with student loans. If I'm not mistaken, they stay on there for years. There's no time limit on when they'll be removed.
You mean after it's paid?
Well, no. I'm saying like sometimes people think like a bankruptcy. After 7 years it's gone. But with student loans, they stay on there
until you pay your debt. It's like you just said, it's a federal debt. It doesn't go away.
It's a federal debt, and I tell people if your student loan's been charged off. What you want to do is you want to call the student loan consolidation. You want to get your student loans either get on an income-driven program, a consolidation program, or if you already been in a consolidation program and it's charged off again, you want to get in a reconsolidation program where so you can start back building their credit. So when those charged off student loans are deleted from your credit report, you'll already be building your credit with those new student loan, those fresh student loan accounts. So when the old ones is deleted, it's not going to impact your score as well. Because
so let people know, because a lot of times when they're deleted, when they're not on there, that just means that whoever owns that account, the creditor for that student loan, is selling it to someone else, and it's gonna pop back up there as soon as someone else takes that debt and purchases that debt. It's gonna come back. So stop avoiding it. Take care of it, like financial literacy.
And so many people always want to delete it, but student loan, 90%, a high percentage of the time, student loan accounts hold the most credit history on your credit report. Because you might have graduated college in 2001, we in 2021, that's 20 years of credit history. You delete that from your credit report, it's gonna make your scores plunger. Like your score is going to drop a lot. So I always tell people like just if they're right now we're deferred until like January
right?
If they do not extend it. So but I like to tell people if you know that you're not going to be able to afford your student loan payments around by December, you need to be calling student loan people just in case they do not extend it, where you don't have to be on the wait list, because so many people are probably going to be on the wait list because everybody's going to wait till the last minute if they do not extend it. So I always try to tell people to plan ahead. As for credit repair, tell people like if you know your apartment lease is going to be up, why not start doing credit repair 6 months or a year out instead of wait till the last minute? Wait till something come up when you need it, actually need it, or your car break down. And you go to a car dealership and you Credit Karma till you got a 700. When the car dealership run your credit, you got a 450 because they use FICO.
Oh my God!
So which method do you think is the more reliable? Do you believe in Credit Karma? Do you think Experian? Which have you seen to be the most accurate?
Credit Karma. A lot of people say Credit Karma is not real. Credit Karma is real because you have two different credit modules. You have a Vantage credit module and you have a FICO credit module. But when we go to do like home loans and stuff like that, the mortgage companies, they look at the FICO. Auto companies look at the FICO. So I try to tell people not to get caught. Credit Karma is good to track your credit profile, to track your on-time payments, to check your credit profile, see what's on your credit report. But for us tracking the scores, you want to get an app like Experian or My FICO app to track your FICO score. And because they have the My FICO app, they have the FICO scores for your mortgage score, and they have your auto loan FICO score. So I always tell our clients that once we get them enrolled, I tell them like the program works. Our clients have had a lot of success in the program, but credit repair is not a one-way street. So many people think credit repair is like a one-way street, and I tell them like it's a partnership because we're going to delete items from your credit report, but you have to do your part and add these positive credit builders to help increase your scores, because the credit repair company, we do not increase your scores, we clean your file up, and then what you're going to do is add these positive lines of credit, which is going to help increase your credit score.
And also people need to understand when you're resetting your credit, you don't go get good credit. And he help you get good credit. Then you go get you an American Express, you go get you a Chase Sapphire card, and then you max them. And then you right back in the situation coming back saying, oh, I maxed these credit cards out. Can you, you're not a credit sweeper. You are somebody that is creating financial literacy, and you have a program will help you get somebody's credit good. And then I'm going to give you tools and educate you on what you need to do moving forward. Now, if you want to go mess your credit up again, look, I don't know what to say because.
How often do you have returning people?
You know what? So far, I have had two returning clients, and it was not because they graduated the program, and it was not because they graduated the program and left. It's because they had been with credit repair companies in the past, and they felt like they was getting taken advantage of. They didn't see results, so. And I was explaining to them like credit repair is a process. It takes time. And then one client, he left the program. He was like, man, I think I'm gonna leave because I'm not seeing progress. I'm like, man, look. Credit repair. I had a talk with him. Like, man, trust the process, man. Credit repair takes time, man. Like I'm telling you, it takes time. And then he came back in the program like 3 weeks. Like, man, you know what? I was doing some thinking, and you know what? I think I want to come back to the program. And now he, like last month, he's over the 700 credit score range.
See, now. That's so good.
And he just got pre-approved. He's actually clean. He got pre-approved for some land. He's bulldozing his land off right now. He's about to build his dream home.
Oh, that is so great. Yeah. I think that's good because like you said earlier, people take 5-10 years to get bad credit, but then they expect you to get them results in 2 weeks. Yes. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. It does take time because, you know, even myself with having to get my own credit fixed, I remember a time when, one time I looked at my credit, it was like a 680. And then like 2 weeks after that, it had dropped all the way down to like a 590. But he's like, look,
was it your credit card?
No, it was stuff going off and then coming back on. Okay. Like as he's trying to clean it, he's like, look, it's gonna be an up and down until we get this profile clean. And sometimes I know that, and then it'll be more consistent. Because for instance, I think it was something with a card that I had. It was off and then came back, and then it was off, but we had to really show them proof, and that was, it's just so many things that people just don't understand. Like, it's going to be an up and down thing until we get everything off, until you, like you said, until you got that tangible paperwork that says, look, this has to be removed, and they can't put it back on. Because with you, it's a lot of laws and different things that you have to know to be able to get that stuff off of people's credit. And that's something that the public don't know. They don't do the research. They just think, oh, I could type up a letter, send it to Equifax, and they gonna take it off. And it's like, nah, you gotta know some things.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
It's definitely a process, and you definitely have to know the credit laws, because a lot of companies, what they'll do is you send their first round of letters off, they'll just come back and say it's verified, meaning everything is accurate on your credit report. And you looking at your credit report like, man, the date open, because with a credit report, you have 3 different credit bureaus. You have Experian, you have Equifax, and TransUnion, and then you have Nexus Lexus as well. That they hold data information as well, and that's where you can find bankruptcies if someone has bankruptcy. But
I never heard of Nexus Lexus.
Yeah, look it up. So you have TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. They are 3 independent companies. They do not communicate with each other. But a lot of people do not know they do not. They think they probably all one company, but they do not communicate with each other. And even though they do not communicate with each other, whenever they put information on your credit report, it have to match across the board, even though they do not do not communicate with each other. So you might look at your date open. This might have September the 1st. The other Experian might have September the 3rd, and Equifax might have September the 10th. That's an error. Or if you look at your credit balance on there, one might be 0, one might be 900, one other might be 900. But all the information on your credit report have to match across the board. Yeah. So if not, that's an error.
And I remember even when we were going through that, that's how he was helping. That was how he was getting a lot of stuff deleted off my report, because it would be one thing reporting to TransUnion, but then not reporting to the other 2. And he's like, that's incorrect. If this is a true debt, it will be across the board, $100, $100, $100. And it is so many of that. And I bet you see that every single day with your clients.
I do. And another thing a lot of people do not know is A company is only required to report to one of those credit bureaus. They do not have to report to all 3 credit bureaus. So if you look at your credit report and you look at what people say are different, inquiries or inquiries. So it just depends on if you're from north or south. So it just depends. So people look at their credit report and they wonder like, okay, wow, this one was reporting Equifax. This other one was reporting TransUnion Experian. But the thing about a company is only required to report to one credit bureau. So that's why if you look at your credit report, you see this company report to 1, another company report to 2, another company report to all 3. But I tell people, if you're going to add positive lines of credit to your credit report, find a company that reports to all 3, because you do not want it to just this to be reporting to Equifax. Yes, it's going to be helping your score increase with Equifax, but you still have TransUnion and Experian. So I always tell people to find a company that report to all 3 credit bureaus.
So what about so we black folks up under the impression that when they get good credit, or the only way to build good credit is with a cop. How can you help them build their credit in other ways? There's other ways to build credit versus going to take out an installment loan on a car or financing a car, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so what would you tell?
So what I tell people to do, I know that a lot of people do not have the financial literacy of a credit card, so I always start them out with a secure credit card, which you're going to put like a deposit down, because the thing about companies, they have to be able to trust you with their money first. So they want you to secure that. You're going to put your own money down, and then once your credit scores get up, you might graduate to unsecured. But you put that deposit down, then I like to tell them, with a credit card, you do not want to go higher than a 30% utilization, because anytime you go higher than a 30% credit utilization, it can drop your credit score up to 100 points. And a lot of people do not know the terms. A lot of my clients do not know the term of credit utilization, because a lot of us was not taught by financial literacy. So I like to break it down to them like this. I tell them, you do not want your credit card balance to be you want your credit card balance to be 2 to 7% of your credit limit, or you want your credit card balance to be no more than 30% of your credit limit. That right there explains to them what credit utilization means, because a lot of people don't know the term of credit utilization. So I explain that. Don't go no higher than 30% credit utilization, and also try to keep it at 2 to 7% for the best, to get the best positive impact on your credit report and with their credit card and with your credit score.
Okay, so for the people out there, so what he's saying is, if your credit card is $100, don't use more than 30. Cause sometimes people be like, I'm gonna use the whole 100 and then I'm gonna just pay it off. No,
it's ways to do that.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. We ain't gonna go deep for them, but truly, it's a way to do it. Okay, where if you do it, you have to just pay that full balance. And that increases your limit. So when you increase your limit, but starting out, you don't need to know that. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple, because we start from the bottom up.
Yeah, we're gonna work our way up.
We need to start not just using that much.
Get used to.
Get used to just
using it on time.
It's ways to use more than 30%, but the thing about using more than 30%, one, I like to take my clients slow, because a lot of them, they do not know how to use a credit card, and I like to take them slow, keeping at that below 30%, around that 2 to 7. And if you're going to use more than 30%, you have to pay your bill a week before your statement date. So when that statement date report, that bill is paid down. And then I tell them, like, after the statement date report, like one day, so when the statement day report, whatever is on that balance, when the statement day report, the day after that, if that balance is still there, that's going to report to the following month. So, and I like to tell them, like, pay your bill down a week before the statement day. When the statement day hit, one day after the statement date, go spend you $5 or $10 on your credit card, and that way, when the due date roll around, sometimes every card is different. Now I tell people, you need to look at your credit card bill, because you have a statement date and a due date, and every due date is different. So if your statement date might be this date, sometimes the due date comes 7 days later, 14/21. So I tell them, spend $5 to $10 after the statement date. Then that way, when the due date roll around, you have a small balance, because you do not want your credit card, you don't want to report at 0, because sometimes when you report at 0, that can decrease your score as well.
So you want to use it. You want to use your card, but just pay it. Like, have the discipline. If you don't have discipline, don't use it, but use it to pay it.
And
but
people
you
need
can
to understand that.
I'm telling y'all, I be cheating. Okay, I'm telling y'all. I ain't gonna say manipulate the system, but look to see when it reports, because it reports to the credit bureau differently than your statement date. So when you pay it, sometimes it reports the previous month's balance. So look at your Credit Karma or whatever. It reports the same day every month. So look, and if you need that money, pay it off right before it report and then use it. Because now it's been reported.
I
mean, like, because let's be realistic. Some of us need that money, you know. But if you have to choose between paying your credit card and paying that bill, let me tell y'all a secret. Pay that credit card and use the credit card to pay the bill. So you have to learn how to learn the system.
Say that again.
You pay the credit card and then use the credit card to pay the bill. See, you gotta learn how to, you know. I don't like to say manipulate the system, but you gotta learn how to make the system work for you.
Yes,
and we're not doing that. Use your credit card,
and use your debit card to pay your pay the credit card balance.
There you go. That's the most.
Because when you use that credit card, what's going to happen is a lot of things going to happen is it's going to give you opportunity to get higher credit limits. And if your credit utilization is a little high, and they call you like, hey, Mr. Wilkins, you know what? You've been doing really good on your credit card. We're going to increase your credit limit about $1,000. So if your credit utilization was at 40% and they increase it to $1,000, your credit limit $1,000 more, your credit utilization will go down. So I always tell people I always take those credit increase offers. Also, if you continue to use your secure credit card good enough, you get to qualify for unsecured. And as you mentioned earlier about Chase, you can get those one-time bonus, $150 or more dollars. You get those cashback reward points.
Let me tell
you get those frequent flyer mile points, and you get those regular reward points.
Me and David went to Jamaica for free off of that.
What you cashback or the reward?
No, so this what happened. So Chase, we have the Sapphire. So when they sent him the thing for it, they said, look, if you go ahead and apply and get this card with us, we'll give you 50,000 Southwest points. So he was like, well, shoot, baby, go ahead and apply.
Yes.
Not only did he apply, but he got like a crazy amount. We was like, well, we going to Jamaica. And then they called us. They're like, hey, yeah, you just want to let y'all know we got like Southwest. Y'all, we got the points to go for free, and then they gave us the discounts with the hotels that they linked up with over there. And people don't understand. Credit card companies want to give you money.
Yes.
That's how they make money. They want to give as many people credit cards as they can, but they want their money back.
Yeah. Chase was actually recently they was giving out 80,000 points when you set up.
Okay, Delta Rewards give you, if you get the Delta Black card. They give you 500,000 points.
Oh, no. Let me go look them up.
It's American Express card. Now, y'all, listen. We try to teach y'all to get y'all money. If y'all know y'all can't handle them 500,000 black cards, don't do it.
I'm just trying. I have good credit now, but baby, the day American Express say approved, I'm acting a fool. I'm gonna be in the club and buying all this. I'm just saying. What? When American Express say approved, baby, I'm cleaning up everything. I'm cleaning up. My file is clean, but I'm cleaning up because you know American Express. They like, look, they want you to come with it. I'm like, look, baby, when I go get my American Express.
You know, it's higher cards, it's Vanguard cards, it's
no, I want the Platinum American Express.
It's higher cards. I'm telling you, it's higher cards with higher limits. Swear, it is. It really is. That's just what we know. So now we're gonna teach y'all again too. Look at things. Don't just think like American Express. I'm not hating on American Express. I promise I'm not. But you have to look at your interest rates too.
Yes.
And a lot of times they have higher fees. They have higher annual fees. You think that they're not the higher card. It's a black Vanguard card. It's a black. I can't think of this company, but
what's your credit score got to be for a Vanguard card?
Listen, I'm just telling you.
I'm asking. How much is credit score?
I think it's like $890 for the Vanguard card. Like it's the elite, but the interest rates are really low. So when you're dealing
have a $790 to get a Vanguard card.
$890.
No.
So y'all need to know.
Wait, what? Not how?
$850.
You gotta have an $850 to get that card.
Yeah.
Nah, baby. How you want me to be at the top? Like, what do I need it for? Like, They gotta start lower than
But
that.
you gotta think, the interest rates are low. Your interest rate ain't 21% for the year. Your rate, you have no fees. Like, it's perks to getting up.
They gotta at least let you.
You know what I'm saying? It's 0%
interest on some cards.
Seriously, like when
they gotta at least let you slide on with a 790.
I don't know.
Kind of like rooms to go. You get that 0%. You go buy furniture, you get that 0%.
You get that 0%, and that's always the key. To use other people's money for free. Because 0% mean you're loaning and giving me this money for free. That's what we don't realize. For free.
Bring your bank card.
You gotta know yourself though, because you just truly gotta know yourself. We don't want to set y'all up for success with getting good credit, and then you kill it when you start to, because it's manageable. You have to do it every day. It's a continuing process. Like you said, you graduate from your program, but it's a continued thing. When you start to have financial literacy, people who have financial literacy check their credit often. They pay attention to their credit.
They check their bank account.
They check their bank account. They're aware. They don't run from those balances. They don't hide. Those are things that we do on a regular. So
I want to talk about one thing.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead.
One thing. Pay for when you call in collection agency to get things removed from your credit report. So many people call collection agency to get things removed from their credit report, but you have to mention pay for deletion.
Okay, pay for
deletion.
Pay for deletion.
Yes.
It's very important, because if you call a not credit card company, if you call a collection company or a debt collector and you have your account is in charge of, you want to get something removed from your credit report, and you talk to the people and they say, okay, we'll agree with you to remove something from your credit report. Your bill is $800. You pay the $800, but you do not mention pay for deletion, or they do not agree with you for pay for deletion. They make that balance zero, and you still have that charge off from your credit report.
And so it doesn't actually technically help you. It'll just say paid in full,
right? It'll pay in full, but you still have that negative account. So
but is deletion always good? Like, let's say that was a very long revolving account. So do you want to delete it? Because if you've had that account for 20 years and then you paid it off in full, do you want to delete it? Because then it erases it, right?
You want to it's going to erase it, and it might make the score drop a little bit, but you want that account deleted, because when people are running your credit and they look at they're going to see that charge off. You want them to see that clean. You want to see that nice clean credit report, so they trust you with their money, let me give you that loan. And the way pay for deletion work is, you call them, say for instance you have a $1,300 loan, and you be like, I want to do $1,000. You both agree to do the $1,000, and then you tell them, okay, I'm going to pay you guys this $1,000. We're going to both agree on this, and then if I pay this money, you're going to delete it from my credit report. You also want to make sure that they give you something in writing, because once you pay it, they're supposed to do their part and send information to the credit bureau to have it removed. But if they do not, you can take, you have paperwork to have it removed from your credit report.
Okay, pay for deletion.
And you never pay in credit card. You always want to pay with a money order, because the money order have their receipt.
Okay.
So, and I've seen so many clients come to me, they have paid the debt off. It's zero, but they have a charge off, and they be like, I called them and I paid it off and settled. Why it's still on there? But I tell you, because you did not mention pay for deletion, and then they try to call back 3 weeks later. Some might get lucky. Some they do not have to remove it then, because it was not in agreement when y'all
and talk. They got their money already. They already got their money.
So okay, how long is your program? Because you said you graduate from your program. How long is your program?
So on average, like clients stay in our program like 6 months. It basically depends on what's on their person credit report. I've had some stay in 6 months, some stay past 6 months, like up to a year. And some people, if they don't have a lot, some people have graduated the program in 60 days. But that's not the case. That's not everybody, because some people I've seen people come to the program have 4 negative items on their credit report. Some people have come and had over 250 negative items on their credit report. Yes. And then clients see results within the first 35 to 45 days.
They quit. They want.
They start seeing the results in the first 35 to 45 days. But I tell clients, don't let your score jump 50 points and you get to go out applying for stuff.
That's what frustrates me, especially when you're a realtor, y'all. When you help people, because they come to us before they go to most people first.
Yes.
And then we send them to the credit repair, and then they start getting their credit right, and you're like, yes, you want to track that pre-approval. And then I look on Facebook and you done bought a car, and I'm like, oh my God, why they just go buy a car and add to their debt to income.
15 to 20 new hard inquiries on their credit report. Because one thing when you buy a car, I always try to tell my clients, when you go to the car dealership, they tell you, okay, we're not gonna run your credit but one time. They're not lying.
Yeah.
But they don't tell you that we're gonna run your credit one time with each bank institution that we use to who's gonna approve you and get you the interest rate.
Ooh.
So I always tell my clients is what I have them do is I have them call a bank to see which credit bureau they use, which credit module, either Vantage or FICO. Most of them use FICO. Then I ask them which credit bureau do they look at, because each bank that you apply for a loan, they all they look at different what's the name. Then once we find out what credit bureau they look at, then I can look at my client's credit score and just about to be if they get approved. Then I have them call back to the bank, and then what we do is we go through the process to try to get them pre-approved. And once we get them pre-approved, I have them go find 5 vehicles that they like, because what you want when you look for a car, you want to find that car. You go to the dealership, test drive it. You don't like the vehicle. You don't want to be going back home to get on the internet. That's why I tell them to have 4 or 5 different vehicles they already like.
Yeah.
And then after they do that, we call the bank pre-approve them, and then say for instance they have a trade-in. What they do is I have them go to the car dealership. You never go buy a car. You never go to get a trade-in value and buy a car on the same day. One, you're gonna be at the dealership forever, and 2, you don't want that trade-in value amount. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them trying to give you a trade-in value amount based off that car deal for you buying that loan. So I tell them go to the car dealership, get our approval. Then once you get the approval, then we're gonna go back and go to the bank and try to get that loan then. So it's more steps to buying a vehicle, but those are some steps.
I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, okay? This is what I do. Capital One, again, using other people's money.
Yes.
I've learned if you walk into a car dealership with your pre-approval from your lender of choice, you be in there literally an hour. The time that you spend in the car dealership is them trying to find somebody to give you that money. If you go in with the money, you get in, you get out. And I'm not kidding. And guess what? Most of the time, they want your money. So if you come in with the pre-approval with an interest rate, they're going to try to beat that interest rate because they want that loan. I've literally walked in with myself and my kids, and we walk in with Capital One because I love Capital One because we have their credit card. We've already had their history. And so they give us auto loan pre-approvals right there. You walk in with that pre-approval, the dealership will come and say, hey, I'm talking about we went from coming in with a 9% with Capital One to walking out with a 3% from that dealership. Literally. Because they want that money.
Yes.
And no down payment, no money down, walking away. Pulling in, you know what car you want already, you pull off. I've literally been in a car dealership for an hour.
That's true.
You know